man, that's a really high utility bill, right? So it sounds like you're paying about 300 bucks. I know like other homeowners, it keeps going up and up. It sounds like you're paying 300 bucks per month on average, and that's a little bit too high. Is that fair to say? We have to
Yes.
label them with a problem. If they don't have a problem and we get them to say out loud, yes, that is the problem, they have no reason to book the appointment. When you interrupt someone's day, they're most likely already doing something. They're hoping that if I answer an unknown number, I just want it to be good news, right? If I don't know who it is, hopefully it's something that I care about. But they don't know why you're calling yet. So you need to get them to want to know. They need to desire to know what you're talking about. You need to get permission from them to talk. If you interrupt someone's day and you don't have permission to interrupt their day, imagine if one of your family members right now just barged in your room and was like, hey, I have a question. You'd be like, I'm on a meeting. You know what I mean? Like they would be interrupting you. So you probably do this, like get out, I'm on a call, or turn your camera off and then talk to them for a second, right? So that's what you're doing to the customers. In order for you to interrupt their day and to walk into their living room and to walk into their office, you need to get their attention in a way that makes them want to listen. The only way that I can call someone and interrupt their day and make them say, hey, go ahead and pitch me, is I need to get them to say, who is this or what's this about? Because the second they say, wait a minute, who is this or wait a minute, what's this about? Now they're listening. Now they're like, I want to know what he's talking about. But if I call and I'm like, hey, man, it's Rich. We're the solar contractor, solar rebate program. How are you doing today? They immediately can decide, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't know, Rich. I
Yeah.
don't care about solar right now. So we miss the opportunity of getting them curious enough to go, what is this? Even when they say, what is this? That doesn't guarantee that they're going to stay on this phone or guarantee that it'll book an appointment. It's going to buy you time. You just need to figure out, as soon as they answer the phone, how can I buy myself like 15 seconds, right? Then once I earn that 15 seconds, how can I say something that stretches it just another 15 seconds? And then once I just take baby steps in the beginning of the call, all of a sudden I've persuaded the customer into a whole conversation, right? Because I was so intentional and so delicate about the first part of the call. Does that make sense? And the hardest part about what we do is the first 10 to 15 seconds, like hands down. Like that first impression that you leave them with on the phone really sets the tone for the whole call. It makes or breaks the entire call. So saying one sentence wrong, not being prepared when they answer the phone, not being sharp, not being excited, not having the right tonality, not doing the pauses at the right point, like anything that you mess up in these first couple of paragraphs makes or breaks the entire thing. I was like, hey, I'll be brief. No worries. I am not here to sell you anything. You guys have to say that very slow and very loud so that they don't, I know you're going to feel rushed, like you need to hurry up and talk slow and talk loud. Hey, Vernon, no worries. I'm not here to sell you anything. And the reason for my call is just to give you the savings report for 123 Main Street. Man, you might have seen a lot of the projects going up in the area, but did you guys get a chance to get your savings report for the home yet? Right? Tonality, call control. Now she's answering that question. And as soon as she answers, no, we didn't get this, or what's this about? Hey, again, I'm not here to sell you anything. Have to reiterate that again. Our utility rebate program just helps reduce or eliminate the surcharges on the electric bills that a lot of homeowners have experienced over the year by switching to renewable energy solutions. However, Vernon, again, I don't want to waste your time if you aren't a good fit for our program, but how much do you guys typically pay for your electric bill per month? Right? So I need to get to that point. That's the whole point. Once we get them to answer that question, now we're in the dance. Like now the game has started, and we can answer their questions. We can tell them it's about solar. We can explain the program. I want you to think about every bill you have right now, like your rent, your mortgage, whatever. If somebody had an opportunity to say, hey, I want to sell you a new thing. I know you have rent with your home, with your apartment, but our program, whatever your rent is right now, you don't have to sign anything up for our program, but we're going to make sure that you get a cheaper rent and it's not going to cost you anything. Would you listen to what they had to say next?
Yes.
Yep.
Why would you
Definitely.
not? You have nothing to lose. You have no, if somebody called me like, oh, you can make my mortgage cheaper, I don't have to pay anything, and it's actually going to give me more equity, like why would I not listen? Or my rent cheaper. So same thing applies. That light bulb moment that you guys just had, they need to have that when you talk about the two conditions. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, I'll tell you about our program, but before I tell you about our program, I just want to let you know that it's a 2-condition policy, right? Condition number 1, is that you don't pay anything out of pocket. You never have to exchange payment information with me. I'm not going to ask for debit card or check. Condition number 2 is whatever your utility bill is now, we have to give you something cheaper than that in order for it to make sense. Those are the 2 conditions of our program. Does that sound fair? Does that make sense, Mr. Homeowner? So I need you that's a huge piece right there, guys. I'm gonna drop, I know we had that in a slide, the other training. I'll drop that in there so that you guys can have that for your notes as well. But really, when they go, man, I paid, $250 or $125, you got to go, wow, that's one of the higher bills in the area. That's pretty high. Has it always been that high? Like, no matter what you say, you have to say that is a high bill. Like, wow, you have to react, right? Because again, we need to entice a pain point. Remember the last training we talked about, if we don't have them out loud confirm that that's a pain point, they don't have a reason to book the appointment. If they don't feel like how much they're paying now is a lot, why would they look into solar? So once they tell you 250, 150, 180, 300, whatever, man, that's a really high utility bill, right? So it sounds like you're paying about $300. I know, like other homeowners, it keeps going up and up. It sounds like you're paying $300 per month on average, and that's a little bit too high. Is that fair to say? We have to label them with a problem. If they don't have a problem and we get them to say out loud, yes, that is the problem, they have no reason to book the appointment. The appointment in solar is the cure, the solution. The monthly utility bill is the problem. But if they don't deem this a problem, they're never going to go to the solution and set the appointment. So we got to go, whatever once they answer that question, oh man, that's a lot. Is it, big family, you got a swimming pool, like no, it's just high bills. Okay, man. So we have 2 conditions with our program, right? Condition number 1, no matter what your utility bill is, it needs to be cheaper than that. Condition number 2, you don't pay anything out of pocket, right? I said it backwards, but it's the same point. From there, then you guys can transition and be more assumptive on the booking. But